setting up the workspace. Okay, so hopefully we will close the walkthrough of different form of XML. Okay, today we're gonna set up another call for setting up the workspace. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll start recording the session. Maybe Abhiram can continue where we left.
So Madhu, you wanted to continue with the, now see we have already covered, CSV and XLS file format for payments and suppliers. So now we only left with the TXT.
Yep.
And we have so we have only one customer so far we have, and so it is
Yeah.
okay. So
whatever is there.
Okay, so we have Buhan that is running in prod. So I'll just walk through with the payments, and Abhiram will talk about suppliers. So like earlier conversion, again we have, this is the DSL file, and let's see the input file how here. So here everything relies on how you are positioning the fields. So this is the header section and this is the data section. So we have to segregate appropriate position with the headers and data section. So let's see how it works here. So this is with the one, supplier ID, and again followed by others. So how the XML file, let's see here. So this is already we discussed about that. This is like file format, and data format is fixed. So it is now, earlier we had CSV and XLS. Now we have TXT, so that's the thing. And again the file type, we have either payment and supplier. So this is for payment and fixed. So as I talked about, there is a two section, header section and data section. So if you see here, the data header section, we have position defined here and then the defined here. So how we are calculating here, see here, so we have like header, this is comes under header section, and field is, so we are saying this is the supplier ID, and position is from 1 to 6. So it will start from 1 and calculate the total length of the field will be 6. So and followed by let's see the payment date. So this is the payment date. See, this is position is the starting position. $72 to 8. And
we need to select from 0 and 09. That will be 72 positions.
Yeah, so there is a space over there. So length is 8. So if you see here, length is 8. So then, yeah. So that way we have to calculate, and followed by other fields like invoice ID. This is the repeated thing for this supplier. So this is a repeated thing. So again, we have to align with like position and the length. And if it is a date and all, you have to, sometime let's say invoice date and invoice due date, it will be same. So in that case, we have to edit it, we have to copy it, like so length is 12 to 8 and 12 to 8 here. And again some UDF. So ideally we used to have like mapping file that will be talk about how will be the positioning. So if you see the sample mapping file and this, so before converting we used to have some, See here, so before converting that, how we position the field, we used to have like a mapping. So because the headers and all, it's not mentioned like other file we have used to have headers and all, but this file does not have headers explicitly defined. If you see here, just one second. See here the input file, I mean, we have header explicitly defined, but some cases header is not defined. So in that case, you have to rely on the given mapping files. So whatever mapping files we have to, that will talk about which position, and the field position will be the, I mean, it will be available in appropriate position. So that way, so the similar way we have to, let's say you are picking any X customer, then you have to refer the mapping file, and based on that we will be deciding, I mean, which field start from which position. So that way invoice due date, and then UBF gross amount. So that way we are positioning one by one, so that it will be get the data. And other thing like, see the output as is it, so it will be similar. We no need to touch the output section, so it will be similar to like Excel and CSV. So output section again, header and detail line, we should not touch about that. So as it is, you have to copy it. And again, so after this repeating line, you could see here there are some other section as well, right? And that is appears only one time, right? Continued on remittance advice, and other dates are there. So again, you have to accordingly, again the lines will start, and you have to calculate that. And whatever the literal and all you have defined, that this is the tax. We have not done, like we have many customer done with the CSV and XLS, but this is the only piece we don't have. I mean, other examples, so that we can cover more detail. So anything you have query about that? Hello, Kim.
You say current you didn't develop overload in this case.
So this time we have only, so far we have cone drive, only one customer. But like CSB and Excel, we have many customer done, but going forward, you may encounter this kind of client as well. So yeah, so
yeah.
so
Because
many
I see some customer they have two data file, one check file and one for remit file.
yeah, so that part, I think we have one customer, Butler National. So that we are already, I mean, in analysis of that, how to proceed with that. But if you have such customer, we are also looking for those kind of customers, so that how to, I mean, mitigate those kind of customer. So we found only one customer so far, that is Butler National. So we have the data file separate and headers are different. But this is all, it's not related to that. It will have only single file. If you wanted to talk about, yeah.
Yeah. So Kim, on this part, as of now, we have we have taken care of files which are like single files containing both the header and the data. The header can be in either in a position manner, like the one that we have shown, the Abhay is sharing, and the others can be Excel, or the text formats can be there, or the CSV formats. There are Abhay, can you select the different file that is for DHON and one more for Butler National? Can you select that? There is a file in this URL. the Excel file, XML file of Butler National and the other one. Yeah. So yeah, if you see here, for Butler National, they have the file format. If the file format is a single file format, they have done in this manner, like vendor name, then the dates, then the amount. Everything is there on the single page itself. The one that you are talking about, the two file format system, in which the one file will be a header file and the other will be a detail file, the details record, in which there can be multiple records. On that particular part, we are still working. We were like going to ask you for the files so that we can analyze what's the common thing and how we can differentiate between the different records that are there, so that we will be writing the logic, so that it will be a generalized logic, and we can just write the XML file the way that we are writing for a single file format. So that part we are still working on. So we are as of now we are focusing on the customers that are having a single file format, be it for supplier or be it for payments. So we are trying to cover those, and side by side we are also working on analyzing that two file format, and will develop those things. So yeah.
Okay.
And it will be great if you share such customer if in lower
Yeah.
environment. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you have some files for two file format system with the mapping, and what's the file and what's the all the details means, it will be very helpful to us, because we have just one sample file, that too not of a customer, that we have generated somewhere. So it will be very helpful, Kim, if you or your team can provide us with the sample files for some customers in the two file format system.
Yeah, I think why we migrate customer, maybe we will list that customer and provide them to you.
Yeah. So, yeah, for the two file format system, yeah, so like if there are like 10 customers and you have around files for five customers for in the two file format system, it will be very helpful to us. And in the meanwhile, you and team can work on the single file format, because that will be pretty much easy when compared to the two file format system. So we can cover as much as possible as a team.
Yeah.
So Kim, do you have any question related to whatever the conversion we have gone through in a couple of days? I mean, either CSV or TXT or tax errors.
Yeah,
So
any
that
questions? Yeah, any
so
questions?
far or difficulty, and we have that repo. I mean, you can refer that input and output things. So that is one thing. But out of that, if you have any such doubt, we can get it clarified here.
Currently, I have no question.
Okay, and you,
I
yeah,
just concerns about overload for text file.
The overflow you are asking, Kim?
Yeah, overload case. For example, in this example, you have example about continue. Yeah, gone down.
Okay. Okay.
Gone
So,
down.
Abhay, can you go down? Can you go down?
yeah,
Yeah, go down.
Yeah, one more line.
yeah,
Yeah.
this one, yeah, actually. So
Overload, yeah, overload marker. In this
I,
case, if have overload in one single file, we just define like you train, right?
Yes. So, this way we are saying to the code base or to the repo or to the libraries that this is something that we expect it will be there on the files, and it can be like a single repeater, or it can repeat multiple times, and the positions will start from 21st, and the length will be maximum 30, and this will be the text continue on remittance advice, and the tag web that we have used is the overflow marker, so that it's just a way of telling to our compiler that, yeah, we are expecting this thing, and if you have defined a particular tag, then we have taken care in the code base, and that will just be stored somewhere in the memory for doing the processing of the data that we have provided. So this is required if we have a file that is carrying on multiple pages or multiple lines that are there. So that is the idea behind this. As of now that we know, so that is the idea, and uh, we have played around while deleting the certain lines, and it gives error. So if you delete certain lines and you try to the positions, if we move the position by 2 before, so if the 19th position starts on continued or remittance advice, then surely the XML file is having 21 and the data will be having on 19. So there is a error that we will be getting in the while doing the conversion. So yeah, that is the idea behind this.
And we are using the literal, so it's like a kind of the fix. It's not like dynamic. So anything you want to hard code based on the input file, so you can just use this tag.
Okay.
And you should be very concerned about the positioning and length. So, and that this definition, you will be getting through the mapping files. So it will be similar to that. We don't have such mapping files. So you will be have kind of, so here attributes will be defined, and which position and all for the all the column, it will be defined uh, for the input file. So that will be helpful for writing the DSL file.
Yeah. Okay.
So Madhu, you want to cover anything related to the pipeline, or we have some other session? Okay,
Oh, sorry. I was talking on mute. Let's actually cover the pipeline, how we can actually commit and deploy. Where we need to trigger and what to trigger. We have different pipeline, right, for the XML to be pushed.
yeah.
And Kim, did your team raised admin access request?
Access.
Yeah, admin access request
Can,
to your computer.
yeah, we can access this.
Meaning that you have an admin access or you raised it? So like last week on Friday, he actually asked your team to raise an admin access, right? Which can be given temporarily to the system. Okay, Abhay, continue with the pipeline.
Yeah, so we have, see, the whatever the DSL we develop, we have two pipeline, but I think as a DSL, you should not, your changes will be as a part of conversion service only. The pipeline is dev conversion configuration, and similar we have a stage. So if you want to test in dev, then you have to push the changes here. So this is the pipeline, and so we have the corresponding repo here. So you want to, let's say, currently you can see here the supported JSON. So I'll talk about here. So let's say we have like Buhorn and LR regional supplier. So currently, let's say you want to add tomorrow for X customer. So you have to, similar to that, you have to create your DSL, let's say LR Dynamics. So this is your DSL file. Let's say it is for CSV format, and this is for payment. So similar to that, the entry will come here that we have already covered. So entry will, and you have to push the changes. So this will be pushed to the, and again, if you want to test it prior to that, you have to create your custom branch and push it. So once you everything done and you are, clear with the testing and things are working as expected, then you can, merge to the main branch. So this is your repository. Support repository is conversion configuration. So here it's all the DSL changes will come in. See, here it's not a big repo. The only you should worry about supported configuration JSON and respective files. So file will be like that. We have earlier we used to have like some I mean some alphanumeric format, but now we have just made it corresponding to the client. So let's say it's Anaconda supplier or BioAlliance payment according to that. So you should suffix big either payment or supplier. So based on that, so you are going to develop with the supplier, then you have to make it as a supplier with the ex customer name, and if you wanted to give the payment, then payment. So that way it's easy to identify, because it's going forward, it will be this number of files will be increases, so it is easy to identify and debug also. So that you have to do the changes, and we have a respective pipeline for that. So here there is a dev, and similar to have, we have a staging. So once you push the changes, you have option here to run the pipeline. So you can select a branch here. So let's say you have created a branch. Let's say I have created this. So that branch will have the changes. So based on that, you have to select the branch. Here the environment is not mentioned because this pipeline is dedicated to dev. So so this will be deployed to dev, and then you can start using the customer side to test this flow. So do you have any question? So we will share this repo detail. Yeah, tell me.
About the conversion configurable. Currently, we don't have folder for each customer, so we have a lot of customer here. It just sort by alphabet, right? We don't need to create a new folder for each customer here, right?
Yeah, no, so folder is not required. So let's say you wanted to add one customer, okay? So this here, you have to just, one file will become, one file will be similar to that, let's say LR Dynamics payment. So you are adding one, let's say you wanted to convert for Habisits payment. So it will be like Habisit hyphen payments, and based on that, the file format and the file type, either payment or supplier, you are going to write this DSL with mapping with the attribute. So one file will be here. At the same time, let's say LR Dynamics payments. So you have to make a entry here this way. ID. So like LR, let's say it's easy to, let's say we have LR Regional Food Bank. So here there will be a entry here. Food Bank. Yeah. So this is, we may put ID. So ID, and there is a file ID. So file ID talk about respective file. So we have Buhorn payment. So let's see here Buhorn payment. But this ID will talk about the customer. So might be it comes under payment or supply. So let's say I have to do with Duhorn supplier, then I'll have a similar entry over there with conversion, and this we have a similar entry. What entry will be Duhorn hyphen supplier, and here we have to make a supplier. But uh, such if you have some customer, they'll have only payment or only supplier, then you have to do an entire entry over here and the naming. So let's say it's customer name. You can keep it here, and that customer falls under either supplier or payment. You have to just mark it, and whatever the field, sorry, the file ID here, this file ID will land here. So you have to create similar to that. So let's say so this will be again the DSL, and this will map, because how it works. So first, the application will read this supported JSON configuration, and they'll check for the whatever available uh, IDs over here, and then so let's say Duhorn they'll check. So there is a ID Duhorn followed by next search will be, it will fetch the file ID. So what file ID? Then it will take the Duhorn payment, and then Duhorn payment, they'll load this file, and it will have entire DSL file, and based on that it will talk to microservice conversion API. So that will take care of the rest of the things. So your job is only two things: defining a separate configuration over here, and your corresponding file to the uh, for the DSL. Is that answer your question?
No question. No more question. Yeah.
So we will be sharing this repo, and might you need some access for that. So that will check with me. Or you need to Madhu. So who will be giving the access? I think we need to check with the, I mean, DevOps team, either
Yeah,
Rohit or
the DevOps actually, if you send a mail to Amitesh and Rohit, they will give the access. What we'll do is just send us the people email
IDs.
ID who need an access. I will get the access for you guys to access this repo and check out things. So great on it. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So for team, just I'm reiterating the things. So your job is, I mean, here that is a repository. So the most of the changes you have to play it here. Rest of the thing, microservice conversion will take care. So whatever you will develop the file, it will taken care over.
So, how is we are doing that? This repo will be a blob storage, and we are having a cache configuration. So every time there is a new file, we will be picking the file from this repo, and then the Java service, the new Java service, will be reading that file. And if we are hitting a customer that is already present in this configuration, then we are going to hit the new service, and if not, then we are going to, as a fallback options, we are hitting the .NET service. So this is the way that we are having the whole workflow for the new service.
Okay.
And on that side, naming side, why we chose the LA Regional Food Bank and DHorn. So if you see, there is a customer that is that file name is with DE932A. So the problem that like we thought that might be coming when the number of customers goes on in hundreds and 200s, that it will be very hard to identify the name in the files. So that's why we have moved with the naming the customer first, and then if it's a supplier file, then supplier dash supplier. If the payments file, then dash payments, appending that to the customer name, so that it will be easy for identifying while debugging things.
Yeah.
So, Kim, do you have anything to cover on
Any questions
the
that we
digital
have the
file?
files also that will be helpful to us, that if you want to ask any small doubt also.
Yeah, any questions you can send us or Slack us, send an
Yeah.
email. Okay, we will actually respond as quickly as possible. And as a next step, what we're gonna do is, you know, so once you have actually prepared any XML, you have to actually run a test cases against it. So that you can do it locally. So for that purpose, we are actually going to send a set of software, including Java, and those things needs to be installed in your machine. Okay, and a Docker as well. So and, if you have installed Docker already, it's good. Otherwise, you have to install Docker client. And what we will do is we will send out a list. You just start installing those. I will set up a call tomorrow, kind of a debugging session where we will be on the call. We can help you if you are facing any issue while setting up software, or if you have any access issues, or you are not able to run the application. We will be able to help you. So for that purpose, I'm gonna set up one time tomorrow, maybe 1 hour or 1.5 hours, so that we can address all the queries related to the installation. And we'll also tell you how it can be run in your local machine and confirm what you have done is working or not. And then once it is actually confirmed, you have to just check in that, and then build the pipeline, or later build the pipeline in dev, and you can actually verify that in dev, and then later it can be taken to staging and production by DevOps team. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, for software installation, admin access or admin privilege is required for some of them in your machine. So that's why I was asking like admin privilege, to get an admin privilege. I think there should be a self-service, right? A self-service where you can raise a request and you get an admin access on the computer for some time. You can do that as well in Windows.
Just one small query. You are using Windows 10 or Windows 11?
Yeah. Windows 10.
Windows 10. And
Yeah.
is there any specific Windows 10 Home or some other details? Because sometimes Docker gives some problems. So can you just ping me the operating system details on the Slack? It will be helpful for listing down the softwares.
Okay.
Thanks, Kim. And on the files, can you please share that files also for the two file format? It will be very, very helpful for us. For any customer, like one or two customers.
Um. You now I share you customer that I concerns, right?
Okay. Okay. Yep. Thank you. Thank you, Kim. Uh, yes, Madhu, I guess.
Sorry, any questions before we wind up?
Yeah. So
Okay, yep, we're gonna
Yeah. I just have a small request. If you can send me an email that what I need to do for you today.
Can you repeat, Kim? Can you
Just
repeat?
I just can you send me an email? What I will send or provide you something today.
Sure. I will just email you or Slack you. Sure, I will do that.
Thank you.
No worries, Kim. No worries on that.
Yep. Thanks. Thanks, Kim.
Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank
Thank you.
you, everyone.
Thanks.